à tous, ici c'est Caroline pour un nouvel épisode de French Blabla, the podcast that will help you speak like a native. Today we're going to tackle a very tricky question. I've noticed that regardless of your level, this is a recurrent trap and absolutely every learner falls into it. So we're going to settle this matter for once and for all. Of course, I'm talking about the difference between c'est and il est. I know it confuses everybody. You usually never know which one to use and you end up choosing randomly. Please raise your hand if it's your case. No, don't be shy and pretend that it never happened to you. You cannot hide, I know it did. So we use these two constructions to describe things and persons around us. However, choosing between the two can be a real problem. If I tell you to translate, she's a girl, what are you going to tell me? Elle est une fille or c'est une fille? Tricky, right? So even my students that are B2 or even C1 have no clue. So don't worry, you're not the only one. I'm not going to give you the answer right now. I will ask you again the same question at the end of this episode, so stay tuned for the answer. So why do we have this problem? Well, simply because when you say he's a man, the direct translation to he is il. And that's why you translate it that way. But it's not all the time correct. However, if the sentence you want to say is something like it's a dog, then you usually use correctly c'est un chien. The ce from c'est is translated by this, that. So when do we use c'est? It's actually the one you're going to use the most, so you have to refrain yourself from saying il, elle est every time you spot a he or a she. We will say c'est in front of a noun with an article. It's just as simple as that. So when you want to say he's a boy, you will say c'est un garçon. C'est un garçon. Same for he's the man I've met yesterday. You will translate c'est l'homme que j'ai vu hier. C'est l'homme que j'ai vu hier. The second use of c'est is in front of an adjective. Let's imagine you're visiting a city and you're talking about the overall feeling and aspect of the city. You will say, for example, c'est beau ici. C'est beau ici. It's beautiful here. When you describe a situation or an entire class of an object, then you use c'est. In my example, I'm not referring to anything in particular. I'm not talking about the church or a certain building, so I use c'est. You also use c'est when you introduce somebody. Let's imagine you go to a party with a friend and he doesn't know anybody. So when you meet your friends there, you will say c'est un collègue du boulot. C'est Julien. C'est un collègue du boulot. C'est Julien. Here's my colleague from work. His name is Julien. You will notice that I used c'est twice. The first time because we have a noun with an article. I hope you remember what I said a bit before about this. Now let's have a look at il est, elle est. When do we use them? We use them with a noun or with an adjective. What? It's the same as previously? Well, kind of. You see, with c'est, I told you that it was in front of an adjective describing a situation, an overall feeling. Here we will talk about a person or a thing in particular. Let's imagine you went to see the last Star Wars. Okay, it hasn't been released yet, I know, and please don't send me any hate messages after this episode. So you saw it, and it was awful. Your friend asks you, alors, ce film? Alors, ce film? So how was it? And you answer, il est nul. Ah, il est nul. It's awful. Here we're talking about this movie in particular, so you will use il est. Another example for you. You're again in a party and you've spotted this gorgeous girl, but you don't know her. So you think she might be foreign, so you ask your friend, tu sais d'où elle vient? Tu sais d'où elle vient? You know where she comes from? And your friend answers, elle est italienne, je crois. Elle est italienne, je crois. She's Italian, I think. Here we use elle est because we're talking about this specific girl. Last example for you, talking about a TV. Dis donc, elle est grande. Dis donc, elle est grande. Oh my, it's huge. I hope you got the drill. Last use for il est, elle est is with a noun without any article. Usually it will be when you tell about your job. So for example, elle est prof, c'est ça? Elle est prof, c'est ça? She's a teacher, right? Please be careful. We will drop the article when we introduce our job or somebody else's. It's perfectly possible to say c'est une actrice incroyable. C'est une actrice incroyable. She's an incredible actress. But here we use c'est plus article because it's a description. I'm not saying, oh, nice to meet you. I'm Caroline. I'm French. I'm a teacher. No, we already know she's an actress. It's not new information. We are describing her amazing talent at her job, so we will use c'est. You remember about the question I asked you at the beginning of this episode? I asked you how you would translate she's a girl. Will you choose elle est une fille? Elle est une fille? Or c'est une fille? C'est une fille. If you want to know, go on today's show notes on the blog to check. I also have a little challenge for you. I'm going to give you 4 sentences and you will have to choose between either c'est or il. I want you to write your answers in the comment section. Go to today's show notes to join the challenge at FrenchTeacherCaro, CARO.wordpress.com. I'm really looking forward to seeing your French. Moi c'est Caroline et à très vite sur le blog.